Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another episode of Sea Salt Snippets. Today for you guys, we have quite a PlayStation orientated episode as recently PlayStation have revealed a bunch of very interesting merch. I've desperately been wanting to talk about this for pretty much the entirety of this week, so without further ado guys, let's jump into it. So it would seem like PlayStation are going to be making their very own line of Amiibo-esque figures. So this is them right here, and there's going to be a total of 6 at launch. However, there is actually a Kratos one floating around as well, so it's possible there might even be 7 at launch. These are going to be releasing on the 23rd of March this year. And as you guys can see, we have a Sackboy figure, a Thelsar FX350 figure from Wipeout, we have a Crash Bandicoot figure from Crash Bandicoot, we have a Heihachi figure from Tekken 7, a Hunter figure from Bloodborne, as well as Parappa from Parappa the Rapper. Now, I don't think that anyone was really expecting this to happen. It is extremely obvious that PlayStation got the idea of this from Nintendo, and as we've seen over the years, Nintendo's Amiibo line has been extremely successful. So I guess you could say that PlayStation are wanting to dip their toes into that nice merch cash pond. Now I know what you guys are thinking, will these Totaku figures work the exact same way as Amiibos? Sure, they are collectibles, but will they be able to be used for in-game special content? As you guys should know, Nintendo's Amiibos can actually be used for specific games that have Amiibo support. When you use your Amiibo on your NFC reader, whether it be on the 3DS, Nintendo Switch, or Wii U, for games that do have Amiibo support, you'll be able to unlock in-game content. However, unfortunately, the Totaku line seem to be primarily collectibles, and that's about it. The PlayStation obviously doesn't have an NFC reader built into the console itself or even its controller, and sure, if this was something planned before the release of the PlayStation 4, this really could have been something that Sony could have implemented, but without an NFC reader or some sort of reader of the sorts, obviously reading these figures to get content for specific games on PlayStation is just not going to work. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how well these figures perform. They're going to come with the standard base price of $10 US. It will be available within GameStop. I'm sure when it comes to the international side of things, when looking towards Australia and New Zealand, these figures will most likely be getting sold in places like Game or EB Games. I imagine that if these figures end up selling really well, then of course Sony will continue to make more lines for them. And of course we know that the PlayStation lineup is absolutely massive. There is just so many characters that Sony could make for these Totaku figures. Personally, I would really love to see a Spyro the Dragon figure, if of course Spyro is ever to return. But furthermore, I would love to see Kingdom Hearts enter into this Totaku line. Kingdom Hearts started on PlayStation, and as we can also see, I mean, Heihachi is there from Tekken 7, and as we know, Tekken 7 was a multi-platform game, so this gives me hope that even when looking towards multi-platform games, it still means that we might be receiving figures for those characters. Let me know what you guys think about these figures in the comment section down below, and will you be picking them up? Next up, Nike are going to be doing a collaboration with PlayStation to make some really fly-ass shoes, and this is them right here. These are some new Nike NBA sneakers, and as you guys can see, yes, they are an official collaboration effort between both Nike and PlayStation. And I just gotta say, for someone who wears Nike and for someone who has been, you know, a long-time fan of PlayStation ever since the age of 5 years old, dude, this really excites me. Now, I don't know whether I'll be buying these to actually wear them or more so to just buy them for collection purposes, but either way, I think I'm gonna be picking these up. As you guys can see, the shoe itself has a very dark navy blue coloration going on / black, which is very appropriate for that of PlayStation. Around the rim of the shoe, there's this kind of galaxy effect going on, and right at the back, on top of that galaxy effect, is a pink Nike tick. You guys will also notice on the left shoe on the tongue, we've got the PlayStation logo, and on the right shoe on the tongue, we've got the PG logo. Now, the interesting thing about these logos on both of the shoes is that they actually glow and light up. On the back side of both of the tongues, there is a power button, and when you press that, of course, the logos then light up. These will run off lithium batteries, so whether or not people will be using, you know, the whole light up logo thingamabob, I'm really not too sure. For me personally, having lights and glowing stuff on your shoes doesn't really float with me too well, so if I decide to go ahead and actually pick these shoes up and actually end up wearing them, I'll probably never turn on that whole glowing thing, but still, it's a cool aesthetic. One other really cool detail that I noticed with the shoes is that the lace rings all correspond to the different PlayStation button colors. We've got the pink, we've got the green, we've got the red, and we've got the blue. It looks really, really nice. And of course, it wouldn't be a PlayStation shoe without having the PlayStation symbols on the actual shoe itself. So on the back of the shoe, as you guys can see, we've got the square, X, circle, and triangle. Straight fire! These shoes are going to be going on sale on February 10th for $110 US. Before knowing about the price, I was actually expecting these shoes to be somewhere around like the $200 to like $300 mark, but it's good to know that they are going to be 110 US. And as you guys can probably assume, these will be extremely limited. So if you guys do plan on picking up these shoes on February 10th, make sure to do it as soon as possible before, of course, stock goes out. And last up for today, back in September of 2017, Square Enix announced the fact that they will be bringing forward a Bring Arts figure of Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora within his second form. We now finally have two release dates on this figure. Yes, two release dates. First things first, it will be available to purchase at D23 Japan, happening on February 10th until February 12th. Now, of course, this means that the only way that you can get this figure during D23 is by actually attending D23. Although there's always the chance of the attendees purchasing these sort of things and then listing them on eBay, so keep an eye out if you want this sooner. Otherwise, you'll be able to pick up this figure on May 30th this year for the price of $60 US. Second form is only a tentative name for the drive form itself. This is actually explained by Tetsuya Nomura back in D23 of last year, and so that we can expect an actual name change at some point throughout this year. Because of the fact that second form is going on sale during D23, and that yes, we're most likely in for a brand new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer during that time as well, it leads me to believe that we might actually get the finalized name of second form during D23. Obviously, they are going to be selling second form as a piece of merchandise, so you would assume that they would probably want to have the finalized name on the actual box. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today's news and information. Hopefully you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day. In the comment section down below, let me know your guys' thoughts towards today's news and information, and until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.
Hit them on the page, you'll be coming through stunning. Gold in my mouth when you suckers be bluffing. Milk crank, gaming up the bitch though. Catch me in the back playing Super Nintendo.